Hey, Mike, and today is the final day of September, and we're still feeling very summer-like. Our temperature at 88. It could be worse, but we're certainly above average. The average high right now is 86. We have some high cirrus clouds out there. We're still just looking kind of hot today and tomorrow for the first day of October. Later this week, though, we get some small changes. It's not a huge fall cold front, but it will be breezier and less hot. High temperatures probably in the 80s as opposed to lower 90s. And we'll also introduce a rain chance, pretty slim at first, but it looks like by Sunday we may have a decent bit of at least some coastal showers, and we'll see how far inland some of those could move. I'll show you that in a second. First, though, current temperatures in the 80s. Our humidity is actually down just a touch south of the lake compared to yesterday. Not a huge difference. Today, our high expected around 92. Yesterday it was 93, so we're right in there in those summer-like kind of temperatures. We do expect a fairly nice evening as temperatures come down eventually through the 80s, and we see some of those high clouds stick around. Tonight, not super cool, but also not bad. North of Lake Pontchartrain, upper 60s expected, and south of the lake, our low temperatures will be likely middle 70s. Our rain chance is slim today and tomorrow. Edges up a little bit by Thursday and Friday. We might have a couple of isolated showers. Saturday now about a 20 or 30% chance for rain, and it looks like Sunday may be our highest chance overall, although it may mostly be confined to the coast. Let me show you, we're jumping ahead now to Friday, kind of looking at that weekend rain setup. We'll have a stationary front at the surface just south of our coast. We'll also have an upper low bringing in easterly winds, so that will actually possibly cause a little bit of minor coastal flooding along some of these east-facing shorelines like we see when we get those sustained east winds. It should make it breezy, though, and could actually feel pretty good for a lot of us this weekend. More clouds around should also help keep those temperatures down. So a little change heading into this weekend, and a welcome change, although maybe not quite as welcome as a big, nice, crisp October cold front. But this is Saturday. You can see some coastal showers. Sunday morning, our European model does want to spread some rain even farther inland than the South Shore, maybe even North Shore too. So this weekend looking different. Breezy, more clouds, the scattered rain by Sunday, and crucially not as hot. I know a lot of us sick of the heat at this point. 5-day rainfall forecast. You can see this takes us into the weekend. The higher amounts of maybe an inch plus look closer to the coast. Lesser amounts, unfortunately, in the greens for a lot of our locations that do need the rain. Our drought monitor in the yellows and tans showing the abnormally dry to moderate drought conditions. And so far in September, we've only gotten less than an inch officially recorded at the airport. The average is about 5 inches. So below average for sure this month, and we're about to enter tomorrow what is traditionally or on average our driest month of the year. October and then November, both typically pretty dry months for us. For the year as a whole, we're only about an inch below at this point in the season, in the mid 40s, kind of 4 inches of rain. A yearly total, remember, in New Orleans is over 60 inches of rain. So we'll see if we can get some of those showers this weekend. That would help us, which, in this time where we typically enter a dry stretch. Now in the tropics, we have the 2 hurricanes, and both are actually now Category 1 storms. Umberto was much stronger, but has a lot of westerly shear, so a lot of the rain and convection now displaced from the center. So it's kind of losing its structure. That's why it's not expected to last all that much longer as a hurricane or a tropical system. Now Imelda is a Category 1 hurricane, and it's gradually expected to strengthen, and it might pass really close to Bermuda, maybe even a landfall in Bermuda by Wednesday, possibly even by that point as a stronger hurricane, maybe a Category 2. So Bermuda certainly keeping an eye on Imelda for potential impacts, likely mostly on Wednesday it looks like, and then it passes over into those northern Atlantic waters and weakens a bit later in the week. Here's our 7-day forecast. 90s continuing for the next couple of days, and then we're in the 80s for highs. Thankfully, heading into this weekend with that different breezy, more cloudy kind of feel. And again, we'll watch that rain chance for Sunday.